What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer. Someone in the comment section in my Synchro Eldritch build said they liked my Ice Barrier deck, and I am more than happy to make videos like that. When I can. I actually have a lot more duels than I thought I did, but it's actually really nice to kind of cleanse my palate of the competitive scene that I was playing with Synchro Eldritch because I just don't like it very much. And obviously, this is kind of a very silly deck, but some really interesting, powerful plays nonetheless, in my opinion. All right, so starting off with something really just kind of funny. This is number 59, Crooked Cook. While you control no other cards on the field, this card is unaffected by other card effects. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to get around this, no doubt. And also, besides the fact that it's unaffected by card effects, the Astral Karibo makes it to where the XYZ monster cannot be destroyed by battle either. So it's really just a giant brick here. But in this deck specifically, I do have an out, but we'll see if I can draw into it. But it's really funny. Old Entity Cthulhu, whatever you want to call it, has another effect that when it's Synchro Summon, you can turn all rank 4s on the field to the extra deck. Which never comes up ever, and it does in this duel, but in this one specific case, it doesn't, which is just, plain silly. So I kind of like go through the play. He has the Forbidden Droplet, so that's fine. But I mean, I have one out, and it is a Kaiju. I run Kaijus in this deck because it is a water monster, so it's good for the Pot of Moray, or whatever it's called. So I'm just going to keep kind of attacking into it. I'm going to go ahead and summon from the deck, get another search, just give myself the best, possible chance. Special summon again from the deck, just trying to increase my chances, Instead of like 1 of 30, it's 1 of 25 now. And the top deck comes into none other than a Kaiju. Very nice. So I played a game of numbers, and it ended up working out in my favor. I have a ton of stuff to show you guys. Different combos, different routes. I run silly cards like Magical Mallet now. I have changed the deck just a little bit, and I'll do a deck profile again soon because why not? But there's so many like horrendous bricks, and in the Synchro Eldritch stuff, I use like Magician of Chaos, or there's this new Ritual Magician card, that searches Magician souls and shuffles something back in the deck. First of all, it's not out yet, obviously. And otherwise, you don't use a lot of spell and traps, so it just doesn't work the same way. Magical Mallet is very, very silly. I'm not going to be one to deny that. But, for a casual strategy, you got to do casual stuff, and that's what I'm doing here. Plus, it's not like you're taking this to a YCS, obviously. This is just a silly goof. I'm going to send a bunch of stuff back, considering I'm like now done with my entire brick list. I still kind of got into that. Can't wait to show you guys. Well, I don't know if I did it, but there's a 2-card combo with Mirror Master of the Ice Barrier and the Miko of the Ice Barrier, and it's absolutely sick. So if it's not in one of these replays, I don't remember, then I will definitely do another step-by-step combo tutorial for Ice Barriers and Penguins and all that good stuff. This is one of the more traditional setups, obviously, with the Gen X Undyne. This is what got me interested in Penguins in general. I literally don't remember where I found the initial combo, but I'm pretty sure this is like the quintessential kind of play starter for the deck. Setting the Called by the Grave. All right, we'll see if that comes in handy. But you get the disruption when your opponent activates a monster effect to bounce 2 cards in their hand, and also if it is flipped up, you can go into a Borreload Savage Dragon, which is quite neat. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly go into the Geomath Mech Final Sigma. That way, it's unaffected by card effects. I don't have to worry about the Monarch Stormforth. Does not apply to me. He activates Imperial Order. But I have a major advantage with the Final Sigma. It's such a silly little boss monster, but it actually is it wins me a few duels you'll see in these videos today. Which you gotta appreciate. Like, you legit cannot get the attack high enough. I think Pantheism would go that far. Or Domain of the Monarchs, I mean. But he didn't have it, so I kind of just have this monster that he can't get over. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and use Magical Mallet here to get rid of some of my bricks in my hand. But he did have the Dimension Shifter, so that's definitely an issue. And instead of, ruining my turn, I just pass. So, it's, Dimension Shifter is an absolutely insane card, no doubt. Considering that he's going to, tribute summon, I might as well... Well, I guess that's kind of a silly move. I probably should have waited. Don't judge me. Okay, he's going to use the effect of the true Draco fighter. I'm going to see how far I can get into my combos here. This is definitely the best one for your ripping cards out of your opponent's hand. But in this case, I can, right? Because he doesn't have any cards in his hand. But that's just really the cherry on top, because I'm still going to be able to draw 2, and I'll still be able to put up an Omnigate at the end of the day, which is pretty neat. All right, we're summoning. I'll bring that back and go into, yeah, so I don't have to go into the Omnigate. You know, obviously just kind of remember that. This card, man, Trishula Zero Dragon of the Ice Barrier, in terms of casual strategies and, you know, in general, 3 banishes is good. When you aren't playing competitive decks, this card is an absolute monster. Besides having some super sick art, which is like one of the main reasons I play this deck in general, because of Penguin Knight is my favorite card art in the game, I think. So, you know, trying to use cool cards, you know, cardboard, pretty cool stuff. If you play Yu-Gi-Oh, you gotta appreciate the cardboard every once in a while. All right, playing against skeletons. I think this is like a match. I really actually have enjoyed playing kind of casual again, just because there's like the same 3 decks over and over again. It's kind of maddening. All right, again, Christian Halifibrax. And the extra deck is a little more tight this time because I did add Bahamut Shark and, Frog back into it. Totally awesome, excuse me. But it does feel worth it because, having that really strong Ice Barrier combo, which I've definitely streamlined and made like 100% better, you actually get a better play than the Gen X Undyne. It ends up being the same play, but you get totally awesome on top of the regular play. Once again, you're going to see Trishula just absolutely rock in this video. So it's really like an advertisement for how awesome this card is. The structure deck was absolute garbanzo beans, all things considered, outside of literally this card, and this card. Everything else, in my opinion, is useless. Although that's not true, because Frost Spirit of the Ice Barrier. So the meat and potatoes of the structure deck were good, but it does leave a lot to be desired, in my professional opinion. Okay, still have, Medallion of the Ice Barrier here. Although I think at the end of the day, that was just, the duel too. So don't have to worry about all this craziness going on in my hand. Another duel against skeletons. The Magical Mallet obviously comes up pretty well here. See how far, if I can find a play starter. I definitely did, so you got to appreciate that. What are you going to do? Again, I'm going to defend Magical Mallet. Okay. I thought for a while about adding like Dagda, like I did in Synchro Eldritch, but she doesn't have the same pizzazz. Like, you definitely need to be a little more aggressive. That's a very bad card. Dark Hole is like basically just the end of my turn, and like Raigeki, all this kind of casual stuff just absolutely eviscerates me. But we'll see if we can recover it all. I'm going to be able to search a play starter at the very least. I don't run any of the 7s anymore, so definitely an issue. But, having Marincess Coral, like, that goes along with Totally Awesome combo, it does come in handy every once in a while because you can get your waters in sync here for Mooling Glacier. It's kind of the reason I showed this duel, I guess, in general. Besides having a match. Top deck of Raigeki, like, geez, RIP. So annoying. We're just in a top deck war now. We'll see if anybody can do anything decent. I definitely know, Ash was big. Otherwise, he would have used this Foolish Burial before. Let's normal summon here. Go for the 1800 attack beatdown. Although Called by the Grave is actually very good, I think, against skeletons because they have a lot of graveyard effects. And they plus really well. Like, the support was really good for what it is, All right. Deep Sea Diva. And I think this is going to enable me to go into Christian Halifibrax, yeah. So you got to feel pretty happy about that. Because I'm pretty sure I can just, like, maybe even just pop a card. We'll see how far I go into this. No, I go into Trishula again. This card is an absolute monster. It just wins me all my duels. It'll probably be my thumbnail. Here is Punk. I don't know. I haven't been very impressed with what I've seen from Punk so far. Triple Tactical Talents was very quite good, though. If he tries to chain, oh yeah, actually these cards, like, why would you do these together? I know that technically if you have 3 copies of each, like, oh, what are the actual chances of you drawing both of them? But I don't know. Apparently high enough to warrant that, because now I'm not going to activate monster effects. Obviously, like, I physically can't. He's going to bounce everything back to my hand, I'm pretty sure, with one of these. So I guess this is like a going second strategy. I went over the video and I kind of, like, I briefly remember them, and, you know, not thinking that they're horrible, but I don't think they, like, disruption wise, I'm not sure. I think you can synchro summon during your opponent's turn. Maybe you, like, should have waited for that. I'm not sure. But, you know, bouncing during your opponent's turn is, you know, what I do, I guess. All right, let's throw a lot of this back and just see what I can get in my hand. Having Frost Spirit in your hand just is awful. So, but I'm pretty sure I can still go into the new Trishula anyways, because I do have that level 3 synchro in there. And bada boom, bada bing. He's going to have to get something decent off the top because he has no resources left. It's a Nibiru. And that's it, because I actually could have normal summoned this, and that would have been enough damage for lethal. Here's a game against Penguins of all decks. Instead of the going straight for the red eyes, which would have been the end of the duel for me, he does go into his Penguin stuff. I gotta appreciate that. I like the Neo Penguin stuff because instead of bouncing back to the hand, everything is banished now. It's obviously very good. Knowing that he's going to bounce this back to my hand, or I guess banish it, I went ahead and normal summon the Christian Rosenix. And I guess that probably could have been Atlantean Dragoons, considering I have 3 copies. So, you know, misplay, no doubt. But it's not like I tried to go into my plays. I guess that's kind of the main strategy I was going for, considering that he was going to have those bounces. And, yeah, no lethal damage here. Let's send all my bricks back and see now. I am open. Very good. So Magical Mallet has come in clutch in a lot of these replays. He does go for the Called by the Grave again. Like, it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things because you're still going to be able to do, like, the very core of your deck. Just not going to be able to discard 2 cards from your opponent's hand. Alright, Cthulhu. Cthulhu. Gua. There we go. A couple tokens. Despot 001. Let's draw a couple cards. Anything, like any disruption? No, of course not. None of my, well, I have an effect veiler, so, but it would be nice to see a Ash. And what do you get? What do you think? Trishula, it's really cool. Like, a lot of the numbers really end up working out, like, no matter what combo you go through. Here's Heavy Samurai. This is a really interesting duel, man. This is nuts. So he, like, he essentially bricked in his first turn. A little, like, couple of dual copies here. Nothing too fantastic. I'll probably end up, like, going through my plays and then using Magical Mallet, although it's like, do you save it in case you get, like, a game-winning brick in your hand? I don't know. Yeah, definitely came in clutch for him. I'll get it in for 1,200 damage. Should have ordered that the other way. If I would have, like, lost the duel because I was 200 life points short, that would have been horrible, right? Alright, let's force him to discard at least 1 card from his hand. I don't know what he's going to choose. I don't know if that helped him either. Who knows? He's going to be able to go into Super Heavy Samurai Ninja Sarutobi. Very cool. Alright, let's send all those back. Maybe I can, you know, get into one of my play starters. And, yeah, I send these 2 back, and I get the same cards back plus another Atlantean Dragoons. Just my luck, right? Holds on to that Ghost Ogre for a very long time. I'm not sure. Pretty sure this, once again, yeah, Moulin Glacia. He didn't have any cards in his hand, but the random effect of, like, that no one cares about. The Geomancer of the Ice Barrier. I can now not be attacked by Earth monsters. And obviously, like, that's his entire deck. He doesn't have different types. Which I find absolutely hilarious. So, I just have this, like, massive kind of, like, brick that he just can't deal with. I may fool... Nah, I don't think I foolishly do this actually at all. You'll end up seeing, because I'm going to try to use the effects, obviously, of the Penguin Soldier to bounce a couple of his synchros back to his hand. In his graveyard, deep, he has a Super Heavy Samurai Flutist. And if someone tries to target a Super Heavy Samurai, negate and destroy. All right. Well, we'll see if I can keep moving along here. Eventually, I'm going to try to make my push. Because now I do feel like there is an opening. And it's probably going to be in the form of Trishula, which banishes 3 cards. I can summon, from the deck, any tuner. It's so funny that the Frost is a sea serpent monster. Kind of random. But I guess it worked out there to a certain extent. Alright, I'm going to, try to make my way through. I'm not sure if I have any rank. I don't think I have any synchros here. But yeah, you can. There is a real effect. All right, you got to see that again because I mean this is good stuff. Let's go to previous. Oh wow. Oh geez. Previous. Okay, so I have a couple of tokens here, and I'm gonna tribute 2 of them to banish 1 of his. And this level is manipulated, obviously, by those tokens. But now that the restriction's off, I got a 4 plus 3 plus 4, and that equals 11. This is probably like the best play I have in this entire video. And I can get rid of the rest of his field, and now like he's really down to it. He's gonna have to get something pretty good off the top. Again, I order my attacks wrong. I'm a horrible Yu-Gi-Oh player, but I thought that was like kind of amazing. This one is that reference I was making to the Geomathmech Sigma, which is a generic synchro, which is pretty funny. In that, like, some decks don't have outs. People's outs are normally in the form of an extra deck. But if it's, considering that the Mathmech is unaffected, it works out pretty well. It's 3 boss stages. Although I'm not sure that's a horrible thing for players like that, because all the focus, comes on getting rid of it. Alright, let's go ahead and synchro summon here. I'm going to force out his negate because I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's any card effect. It's an Omni negate. This is definitely one of the better cards. Let's flip this and, see what we can handle here. He has no choice. Now I can go into probably the Trishula synchro. I absolutely do. Although I do, I thought at first I had ordered this wrong, but it actually ends up being better because I get more damage. Because the final Sigma is 3,000 attack, and these 2 combined, and obviously is a lot more than 3,000 attack. So, and I can still synchro summon during his turn. So, I got rid of a lot of his stuff, and oh wow, that's pretty unfortunate actually because it's banished, so he can't even use his trap card anymore. But this does double damage, so like these tokens in attack position are just. He's going to try to like bounce it and banish it and, negate. But yeah, like that's pretty cool to just have that kind of tool in your deck that you just never know. Here is Galaxy Eyes. And this is actually a pretty interesting couple of duels here. I'm pretty sure I do a match here too. Do I finally get to show you guys the combo? I hope I do. No, I think this was before I figured it out. So I go through the regular stuff, but yeah. There is a level 3 non-tuner ice barrier monster that you can use so that you can get Bahamut Shark out of this. So it's like this board exactly, plus totally awesome. Which is unfortunate that I actually had it in my hand and it was before I figured it out. Alright, but I'm going to bounce that back to his hand, obviously, getting rid of his ability. And I thought I had a Link monster in my graveyard. I should have been Marincess. But I didn't. But, now I have 5 waters in the graveyard. And I can go into attack here. He uses a trap card that's pretty good. Memories of an Adversary. Which, banishes the monster. And then he actually takes it at the end of my turn. Okay. And because of Gozen Mash, it actually works against him. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and negate the Search of the Vanisher. That way he cannot summon it, And he's going to try to once again summon, or search again, or I guess he probably would have special summoned a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. I have prevented that. I have enough tack to get over this. And now we're coming down to 1 turn. It's got to be something he can at least set. And unfortunately for him, it doesn't. He does not get that card. All right, Galaxy Eyes again. I think I'm going to do a, speaking of like future channel stuff, I'm going to do a Fresh Start Friday. Like I haven't done that in a really long time. I've like a lot of like sparse duels that I kind of want to just delete and get rid of because I don't really know what I want to do with them. If you guys don't know, like what Fresh Start Friday is like I just, clean out my replay kind of log with cards that, I don't have enough replays to make a full video about, or maybe I'm just not interested in it anymore. that kind of stuff. Again, some cool stuff here. Basically the same exact end board. And I'm going to, leave myself the possibility to do this. He had another memory of the adversary. Jeez Louise. An evenly matched. That's probably going to come through at some point. Get rid of his, the Goes Match are actually pretty nice to a certain extent. He sets the evenly match. Well, I guess, definitely doesn't have a choice at this point. Okay, I'm going to get a Mooling Glacier for next turn. I can send that to the graveyard, go into the Marincess, bring back the Gen X Undyne, just trying to get as much damage as possible. I probably thought I had enough, but I was a little bit short. I have 900. I'm going to try to just give myself like the highest attack monster as possible. But now he actually does get to summon that, the Penguin Brave. The Photon Thrasher is a pretty bad top deck because now he owns a monster. Seems to kind of work against himself just a little bit. And I can go ahead and summon this back. I can get a Rosenick token. I can get the Gen X controller, go into a Christian Needle Fiber, go into Auroradon. Although I think I'm just going to use Auroradon's effect to destroy this, my Penguin Brave. That way I can attack for damage. A really long-winded way to do that, but the result is still pretty good. Earth Machines, I'm pretty sure this is like the Deep Sea Diva combo that I've shown off in the Synchro Eldritch stuff. I'm going to be able to peep his hand and, hopefully get rid of a lot of stuff that he wants. As well as giving myself an Omni-Negate. 50-50 chance of getting rid of the Kaiju, which, you got to take your odds when you get them. And I'm going to draw 2 off top, so hopefully I get a, a hand trap. That would obviously be ideal. Cthulhu, Despot 001. If you guys have watched my videos recently, you'll probably be very familiar with this. I was really happy I was able to find this because it just feels like before, if I drew the Penguin Soldier, then like this combo was really going nowhere in the end. And also this is just better, you know. Having two monster bounces is obviously like very, very good, you know, but having just like knowing what your opponent's going to do and knowing that pivotal point of negate, you know, they have the one mystery card that they draw, but yeah, I mean, you can't be too, you got to be pretty happy about your chances considering how much more advantage you have. And then I just kind of stopped his plays at that point. And last duel is against Cyberdarks. We'll see what I have going on here. I do have one form of disruption, Effect Veiler. I've increased the deck size to 45. I think it really helps to kind of avoid those bricks as much as possible because they're all just one-ofs. And, you know, Magical Mallet hopefully cleans up the rest. Okay, I definitely don't want him to be searching any cyber spells and traps. If he has, you know, like Infinity in his extra deck, I'm not even actually sure he does, but I'm pretty sure one of these has like Cyber in its name. That's good for Cyberdarks. All right, spells and traps. So now, as of right now, Cyber Dark and Dragon cannot attack, which is pretty interesting. Okay, I'm going to peep his hand. It's just an Overload Fusion. But more importantly, I'm trying to get these you know, monsters in the graveyard for the eventual Mooling Glacier summon. Pretty sure this is unaffected by card effects, so yeah, activated effects. I don't really know, aren't all effects activated? I'd like to see an exception to that. Again, I think I had to find a Kaiju or else it's, you know, not looking so hot for me. I don't really have a clean out for something like this. Okay, and draw a couple cards. Moray of Greed. Maybe I get a Kaiju this time. Yeah, I do. I also had Magical Mallet. Again, I think that's kind of the benefit of the card. Maybe you can find a Harpy's Feather Duster or Raigeki, depending on the duel. But, you know, clearly it was very good for me there and beneficial. He's going to have to get something pretty nasty off the top. Or, no, I actually had just enough lethal anyways. Never mind. So, yeah, that was a really long look at Ice Barriers, but I had a lot of fun playing this tonight. I went through a lot of duels. Maybe tomorrow I'll show you some of that combo stuff that I was, you know, showing off, do some updated stuff. A lot of it's going to be similar to Synchro Eldritch. Some of it's going to be different. But other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.